Welcome, undergrads, to the Knight Law Center. This is the home of Oregon Law, one of just 13 law schools in the nation with 3 top-ranked specialty programs. If you're interested in learning more about the law, you can now take undergraduate classes from the same world-class professors who teach graduate law students. Our Undergraduate Legal Studies program tackles some of the most important issues in society in a broad, interdisciplinary way. It gives you a toolbox of knowledge to enhance your career opportunities and tackle the drama that comes up in everyday life. We have courses that teach you how to resolve conflict in settings from families to the workplace. Other courses focus on how law relates to the biggest issues of our times, like climate change, gender inequality, human rights, and privacy. You'll learn how to think like a lawyer to solve complex challenges. Undergraduate Legal Studies aligns really well with careers in government, the .com industry, nonprofits, startups, and business. Our classes are smaller than most, and several offer general studies credit. Oregon Law is also developing a minor in legal studies, and we're planning a central role in the learning environment of the new residential hall soon to be built right next to the law school.
Legal studies is the field of social sciences and humanities that takes up law as a kind of a living instrument, something that we deal with every day in our routine lives, and at the same time something that's really crucial to understand when it comes to dealing with the big issues of our times.
We focus throughout on the role of the citizen and the everyday person in terms of how everyday people can influence the law, because the law will become subject to an elite minority if citizens aren't constantly involved.
So I've always thought of law and legal studies as something that happens after you've gone through the whole college process, something very elite, and so the opportunity to do something undergraduate now was really exciting.
Law school is a professional program. It's aimed at training people to think and to analyze certain types of questions in a specific context in order to solve whatever a client's problem is. Legal studies is broader. We do teach students to think like lawyers about problems, about situations, but we also think like scholars, we think like students. We want to understand broader contexts about how the law relates to other topics.
Before I took it, I didn't really know anything, but I did very well in the class. So, I mean, it's a very great opportunity, and the professors all seem very nice. Professor Catter especially was funny, and we actually learned all the time in class, but we also enjoyed being there, being around other people who are also interested in law. It's just a great experience, great atmosphere.
Examples of how an understanding of the law might be beneficial to the average person would be, say, understanding your agreement with a company for renting an apartment, or understanding, leasing a car, or understanding, if you own property dispute with your neighbor, all these basic things that might just give you a better understanding of the world around you. But to be clear too, we don't envision undergraduate legal studies simply being a substitute for law school or being law school light. When you look and open the New York Times and read about the latest issue dealing with race and criminal justice, or or the latest article dealing with voting rights and so forth, I think maybe having a better grounding in the legal concepts behind some of those disputes and some of the history behind those disputes, not only I think is that important just to be an informed citizen, but I think if you are inclined towards thinking about social change, I think an understanding of that history is invaluable in thinking about what reform or what kinds of change are actually plausible.
Who makes the laws? Why were these laws made? When was this law made and under what condition? Beyond that, what is a law? Why have laws? And how law intersects with really lots of disciplines. It's interdisciplinary with economics and humanities, especially activism, social activism, and human rights.
My course is Environmental Law and Policy, and that course looks at environmental laws and how they affect us as everyday people, and how we as everyday people can affect the law. When people pollute, they do so under the permission of environmental law. We have certain crises, like climate crisis and species extinction, because environmental law maybe hasn't worked so well in some cases. And so in my course, we review environmental law and we figure out what is it all about, but we also take a very searching perspective towards that area, and we ask, where is it working? What tools work well, and where is it failing horribly, and what tools are not working well?
You'll find that lawyers actually are alive and active in almost every organizational setting you want. A lawyer, it's not unusual for a cop to have a law degree. It's not unusual for a firefighter to have a law degree. There are many people in business that don't argue in the courts that have law degrees. And so it is the same really with the law faculty. The law faculty here at Oregon come from many experiences. Almost all of them have practiced law in government and corporations, in nonprofits, in international organizations, and human rights settings. And they bring the personality of the organizations and institutions that they work with to the classroom, as opposed to kind of a single image of a suited up, tied up, formal looking lawyer that you might have an image of.
The Knight Law Center is a great place to take classes, study, and hang out, with a huge indoor commons, a beautiful courtyard, a 3-floor library, and we're located right next to the rec center and dining facilities like Global Scholars, Hamilton, and the Ducks Bistro. So check out Oregon Law's Undergraduate Legal Studies program and get a legal edge to your undergraduate education. It'll help you whether you're aiming for law school or any other career.